The London Olympic Games brought down the curtain on Sunday with the United States topping the final standings with 46 gold medals. The closing ceremony featured music stars from the past 5 decades of British pop music, but the evening also featured music from one of Britain's greatest classical composers, Sir Edward Elgar. The United States, beaten by China in number of gold medals in 2008, regained the top position with 46 gold and 104 overall. China came second with 38 gold, 27 silver, and 22 bronze, while Britain finished third with 29 gold medals and 65 in all, the best ever results for the hosts. Jamaican sprinter Usain Bolt kept his name as the fastest man on earth by repeating the 100-meter and 200-meter golden double, as American swimmer Michael Phelps concluded his long career as the most decorated Olympian in history. 一冰河 Regina Liu, ICN San Francisco.
U.S. retail sales rose in July for the first time in 4 months, according to the Commerce Department. The 0.8% rise in sales well surpassed analysts' expectations. The reports help support the view that slowdown in economic growth during the second quarter will only be temporary. This offers some relief for President Barack Obama's re-election campaign, as it has been troubled by the weak economy and the job market. Job creation has also seen minor growth, but the unemployment rate is still high. Yibing He, John Berge, ICN, San Francisco.
A gunman opened fire near Texas A&M University on Monday, killing 2 before dying in a shootout. The gunman, Thomas Caffell, shot and killed Constable Brian Batchman, who was trying to serve him with an eviction notice. Police responded to the scene and found an innocent bystander had also been killed. Caffell exchanged gunfire with the police before being shot by SWAT officers. A second bystander was in critical condition after undergoing surgery on her bullet wounds. Classes at the university do not start until August 27th, so there were not many students nearby at the time. 一冰河 John Berge, ICN San Francisco.
Solar panel maker Solyndra has agreed to pay $3.5 million to settle claims that the bankrupt company failed to notify employees that it was halting operations. Over 1,000 employees lost their jobs with no warning when the company closed its doors in late 2011 before filing for bankruptcy. Employees sued Solyndra, claiming they were entitled to at least 60 days' notice before losing their jobs. State rules call for employees to file what is known as a WARN notice to notify workers that layoffs or a shutdown could occur at their workplace. Before going bankrupt, the solar panel company was funded by a $535 million federal loan and a $25.1 million California tax break. Yibing He, John Berge, ICN, San Francisco.
Actress Fan Bingbing has admitted she is in a relationship and said her boyfriend is her source of serenity. Fan said this while promoting her new film Double Exposure in Beijing on Tuesday, August 14th. The identity of Fan's boyfriend is unknown, however. Fan Bingbing also mentioned a previous relationship, saying the old boyfriend was unfaithful, but she has recovered from the betrayal. In Double Exposure, Fan plays a woman who struggles to deal with the discovery of the secret relationship between her lover and her confidant. The film, directed by Li Yu, is slated for domestic release on September 29th. 一冰河 Regina Liu, ICN San Francisco.
The home of the late Steve Jobs and his surviving family was broken into last month while unoccupied due to construction. The thief was apparently unaware whose home he had entered, according to authorities who said he stole $60,000 worth of items. Among those items were iMac and Mac mini computers, 3 iPads, 2 iPhones, 3 iPods, and an Apple TV. Police were able to find a suspect once some of the stolen items were used to log into his iTunes account. Apple investigators identified him, and police soon raided his apartment, where they found most of the items. The suspect, Kareem McFarlane, 35, confessed to the crime and also wrote an apology letter to Jobs' widow. He is in jail on $500,000 bail and is due in court August 20th. Yibing He, John Berge, ICN, San Francisco.
The average Chinese person reads 6 books a year, far fewer than the average in Western countries. According to Yan Xiaohong, Deputy Director of the General Administration of Price and Publication, Europeans and Americans get through 16 books annually, and the number is as high as 24 in North European countries. Since 2006, more than 400 Chinese cities have held activities to promote reading. Shanghai, for example, has organized reading forums in addition to the annual book fair. The Chinese government plans to increase the printed word's popularity among the public through methods including helping more books to be published, encouraging innovation in communications, and distributing books to smaller cities and rural areas. Yibinghe, Regina Liu, ICN, San Francisco. A bevy of big-name retailers, including Walmart, Best Buy, and Target, are teaming up to create a company that will give customers another way to make purchases with their cell phones. The businesses said Wednesday that a new company, Merchant Customer Exchange, is developing a mobile application that will be available for nearly any smartphone. The app is expected to integrate a variety of coupons, rebates, and loyalty programs. With the announcement, retailers are entering an already crowded arena where different industry groups are jockeying for position on the smartphone screen, which everyone expects will be the new way to pay. Yibinghe, Regina Liu, ICN, San Francisco.
California will issue driver's licenses to the young illegal immigrants granted work permits by the new federal deportation relief. This decision is opposite from Arizona's, where Republican Governor Jan Brewer on Wednesday signed an executive order outlawing driver's licenses for anyone who benefits from the new plan. A 1993 California law banning driver's licenses for illegal immigrants remains in place, but those with the new work permits will be treated as having temporary legal residence and will be allowed to apply at the DMV. Opponents of the deportation relief policy are saying that this new plan will only bring with it more debate. Yibinghe, John Berge, ICN, San Francisco.
Okinawa police arrested 14 Chinese nationals on suspicions of illegal entry after they arrived at the Diaoyu Islands via a Hong Kong fishing vessel on Wednesday to assert China's territorial claim to the islands. China on Thursday once again urged Japan to immediately and unconditionally release Chinese nationals illegally detained by the letter of the Diaoyu Islands issue. Chinese Vice Foreign Minister Zhang Zhijun made the requirement and lodged solemn representations with Japan during his phone call to his Japanese counterpart Sassi Kaneshiro. He asked the Japan side to ensure the Chinese nationals' personal safety, dignity, and fundamental rights. A working group from the Chinese embassy and consulates in Japan has arrived in Okinawa, visited the detained Chinese nationals, and lodged representatives with the Japanese side on relevant matters. The Hong Kong Special Administrative Region Government and its representative office in Tokyo also sent officials to join in the representations. Yibinghe, Regina Liu, ICN, San Francisco. President Hu Jintao on Friday greeted the Chinese mainland's delegation to London Olympic Games and called for more efforts in promoting scientific development of sports. Hu extended congratulations to the athletes, coaches, and staff members of the delegation and thanked them for winning honor for the country and the Chinese people. Hu encouraged the members to draw experience from the games and contribute more in enhancing the country's sport. All other members of the Standing Committee of the Political Bureau of the Communist Party of China's Central Committee also attended the ceremony. The Chinese mainland took 38 gold, 27 silver, and 23 bronze medals at the London 2012 Olympic Games, a medal count second only to the United States. Yibinghe, Regina Liu, ICN, San Francisco. Watermelon is one of the best fruits for people in summer, but how to pick the perfect watermelon among many choices? Sarah Nolan, CSA coordinator of South Central Farmers Cooperative, will give you some tips. First, Sarah recommends buying watermelon that was harvested during summer's peak because watermelons need heat and sun to grow well. Second, buy watermelons that are as locally grown as possible because buying locally increases the chances of getting an adequately vine-ripened melon. Third, buy a melon that's heavy for its size because the heavier it is, the more likely it is to have a high water content. 4. Look for a field spot. Watermelon often has a white or yellow patch on the bottom side called a field spot. It's a sign that the watermelon has been allowed to ripen on the vine. Fifth, thump the watermelon and listen for a deep echoing sound. According to Sarah, you want a watermelon that sounds like a drum when you pat it with your hand. If it has a dull thud, that means it will likely be mealy or either too ripe or harvested too early. Yi Binghe, Regina Liu, ICN, San Francisco. Yao Chen, the A-list Chinese actress and one of the most followed macro bloggers in the world, will marry award-winning cinematographer Cao Yu. According to Sohu.com, Cao recently proposed to Yao at his birthday party. The party was a private celebration among friends and relatives, but Sohu.com said an attendee who said Cao made a long, sensational proposal to which Yao accepted with tears in her eyes. The actress later wrote on her Weibo, "Only when two are together can they fight against life." Yao said in March 2011 that she was dating Cao. The two fell in love after working together on the film Color Me Love. At the time, Yao had just ended her 7-year marriage to Lin Xiaosu, a lesser-known actor. Lin married actress Tang Yifei earlier this year. Cao Yu was the cameraman for Lu Chuan's films Kekeshili, Mountain Patrol, and City of Life and Death. He won the Best Cinematography Awards for both films at the Golden Horse Awards. Yi Binghe, Regina Liu, ICN, San Francisco.